Hey guys, Will DTA here, and I got a pretty cool video for you guys. I get questions about this all the time about Photoshop. How do I make something transparent? Transparencies can be really helpful, especially when you're making something for a website or a forum, a quick little image to go along with a link, something like that. Also, when you're doing reflections and images, you want a little bit of transparency. So transparencies can be used in almost anything, and it's a great tool to have, and it's a really good basic knowledge you need if you plan to move ahead in using Photoshop and becoming more and more professional with your images that you render. So let's go ahead and get started. If you will take a look down in the links below, I'll have some examples of some transparencies if you want to get an idea of what I'm talking about before you try this. But again, go along with me, follow all my videos through, and by the time we get to like Photoshop Guide 3000, you should be pretty much an expert. I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. There's a big storm going on. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to go to File, New, and it doesn't matter the size because this is just a sample, of course. But keep in mind size is relevant to the image size or the file size. So if you don't want something too big, don't make that big of an image. Of course, what you put in the image will affect that as well. The big thing you have to remember when first creating your image is to make sure the background contents are set to transparent. You could set them to a color and remove that later on, but this will make it a lot easier and it'll make it a lot less steps for you to have to go through. So make sure you set that to transparent. So I'm going to hit OK, and here we go. Now, if you've seen this before in Photoshop, you probably know that this gridded outline that you'll see in the image means that there's nothing there. There's no color. It's not white. It's not black. It's not green. It's not blue. It's empty, transparent space. So anything you put in that image, there will be nothing there. That will be just empty space in your image file, but it will still be the same canvas size. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you what to do. I'm just going to come over here to my rectangle selector tool and create a decent size rectangle. Then, actually, first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this layer. If you don't know how to do that, just go over to your layers channel, right click, and hit duplicate layer. Very important that you do this because you want a background image on top of your transparent image. So it's just better to do it this way. Okay, so again, I'm going to come to my selector tool, make a rectangle, get my paint bucket tool, and we have a black image now. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the outline and come over here to my layer copy, which you can do the transparency in your original layer or your copy layer. Just make sure the transparent one is on top of your background layer. So we're going to right click, go to blending options, and here's where you can set your transparency. Now when I'm talking about transparency, really what I mean is opacity when it comes to Photoshop. Opacity is basically the amount that you see the image or the amount that is transparent. So when your opacity is set to 100, you have a full image, no transparency. When you set it to 50, half of the background is coming through while half of the actual image is being seen. So you can adjust your transparency back and forth to however you like it. My suggestion is stay somewhere between 45% and 90% for optimal transparency and best looking professional effects. Again, it's going to depend on what you need it for. If you want just a slight level of transparency for like a website, stay up around the 90s, high 80s. If you're looking to make an iPhone theme and you want something very extravagant, you could go all the way down to the 45s. For this particular image, just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and head down all through the different spectrum of opacity. So I'm going to head down to the 20s. As you can see, as I move the slider over, more and more of the background image is visible through the duplicate layer. So I'm just going to select around 90%. And there we go, guys. We have a completely transparent image. So whatever you put this over, so you had a background image and you put this image on it, like on a website, you would get the background image to kind of fade through it a little. So that's really cool, guys. It's a great technique to learn, and it's really smart to have in your knowledge base because you never know when you're going to need to use it. So last thing I'm going to show you guys is how to correctly save this so you will actually have the transparency on your finished and rendered image. So we're just going to go to File, Save As, and you're going to want to save this in the PNG format. There are a few other formats that will retain transparency, but if you do it in like a, like a JPEG or something like that, it's not going to be transparent. You're just going to get the full image. So you need to definitely go with PNG. That's the best format in my opinion. Of course, you can do it in like the Photoshop format, like PSDs, but most browsers and most computers won't recognize those right off the bat. You'll need a third-party plugin or something like that. So PNG is pretty much universal, recognized by everything. So that's the best one to pick. So save. Don't worry about the PNG options, just hit OK. And there you go, guys. You now have a transparent image. I hope this video helped, guys. Again, you can use this technique for anything. It's very simple and very neat to know how to do. So I hope it helped. If it did, please rate, comment, subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. If you have any problems, let me know. I'll try and help you out. I'll send you a message. And if you also have any suggestions for any future Photoshop videos or anything particular you'd like to see on this channel or any other channel of mine, leave a comment down below. If you get any good images from this, please leave a video response. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.